the area and the surroundings mold you into the person that you become. So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about Chicago and how Chicago added to all of the different, passions that you have.
Yes, that's my heart. You know what I'm saying? I love my city so much. And it was really cool because as a shorty, like as a kid, I was just like, damn, I'm from Chicago. Like you understand that level of legacy so early being from that city. And I'm so grateful for that because it made me never want to play with myself. Like you see somebody like Kanye doing his thing, you see Michael Jordan, you see like, just all these different moguls and figures, and you just like, yeah, like I can do that too. So Chicago is my why, in a certain sense. It's like it embodies everything that I'm about in a certain type of way, just strictly because of how much history and how much energy is in that city, period. And that's why so many people are coming out of that city the way they are. Like even Dirk, Herb, like all these, musicians, like this that energy. It's that unapologetic energy where it's like, no, we gonna give it to you raw, and we gonna give it to you exactly how we want to give it to you every time. So Chicago has, made me who I am, to be honest. And even when it comes to my brand, Shy Products, that it's in the name. It's Shy Products. So it's just like it's a constant reminder of what I'm doing it for and that it's bigger than me. I use Chicago as a constant reminder where it's like it's not about, Kim being, famous and rich and this, that. It's about tying back to the city so that the next generation of Chicago kids can be like, dang, like, she made a whole brand off of, our city, and it's also benefiting our city deeply. Like I want to do something that not only goes that half of the circle, but then wraps back around into the city in a positive way. That is kind of like the
Yeah.
biggest goal. And, to be around Chicago and, to have so many experiences that are life changing, it really puts things into perspective where it's like anybody from that city is seeing so many different things happen every day that it's like, okay, you have to release this. You have to have an outlet. You have to put it somewhere else. You have to put that energy into something, or for else it's going to go into the wrong things. So, I had my fair share of, just being on bullshit in the city. And that is going to only get you a certain amount of places. You either are going to be caught up in a jam, or you either are going to be, in jail or something. So it's like, even having that realization so early of just like, okay, like if you do the wrong shit, then you're going to go to the wrong place. And it also it's a level, it's just that flip side where it's like if you do the right thing, then it's always going to take you to the right place. So it's made me everybody, it's made me everything I am.
The one thing that you talked about that hit me deep was when you said, and you mentioned this earlier in the conversation too, I want to be that person that people can look up to and say, "Oh, this is tangible. I can do this."
Yes,
And you talked about how the different people in Chicago have set that bar so that other people behind them in the next generation say, "Okay, well, I can do this." And you even talked about how, you don't only want to people to think like I can do this, but I can do this better because I believe that like part of the reason why I can do something potentially better than somebody before me is because they put me onto that.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I couldn't that they didn't have them. Like I have them. So who are some of those people where they have, crossed that level where you're like, you know what, they set a bar and like they're from where I'm from, and you know what, I can actually do that. Like they give you that confidence to do that.
definitely. I think early on, it was people like Kanye, uh, literally Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe just like more historical figures, like Gwendolyn Brooks. And then as I got older and like, kind of people that I'm more relatable to, I would really want to shout out to just Vic Mensa. Like that's one of my brothers. And just seeing how he has navigated not only as a Chicago kid, but as a artist in Chicago, it always made it seem like, okay, like if he could do it, then I could do it. You know what I'm saying? And Shout out to Chance the Rapper too. Like that was always somebody that was like a great blueprint. And to see how, like I found out about Chance before he was who he was to the world. So seeing that development and seeing him grow was always so cool to me, because it's like, okay, you can be a hometown hero, but then you can go across the fucking world with that shit and still be who you are and still be unapologetic and be, you know, a light for people. So those people definitely have influenced me a lot. I think even just G Herbo, like the fact that he went from Lil Herb to G Herbo, and so many people were like, oh, he's not going to be like a international artist or a world artist. Like that man is a world renowned artist. Like, and he is spitting, you know, these bars that half of these people don't even know. Like even, for example, King Von that made 63rd huge. And it's like, as a Chicago kid, you would never think that, you know, your city or your block or your hood is going to be that big, but it is, you know what I'm saying? You just understand the importance of culture. So I'm so grateful for those, you know, select few artists. I should have more women in there too. I always be talking about some boys, but I'm very thankful for those select artists that made me realize that, okay, our culture is internationally, you know, purposeful, and it can go across the world in so many different ways. So yeah, shout out to them.